You know, I've been thinking about life recently, as we all do. Maybe too much, maybe too little, to be honest. And I've been wondering, where am I gonna go next?
Still.
Some video still?
Yeah.
Well, I'm back. May not seem that long ago but it's been about 2.5 years since Days Gone By was filmed. Well, a lot of things have happened since then.
Well, for starters, I got a full-time job. I moved to the Nashville area, and I took some smaller trips around the country. One to New York City, but you'll have to wait a couple weeks to hear how that went. I premiered my documentary at a private screening this past May. Then I quit my job pretty soon after that. Now I'm pursuing multiple paths to make ends meet. Then I got in a car wreck. So life's been throwing me some curveballs, to say the least. But relying on the Lord has been a game changer for me. Not to say that I know what I'm doing all the time, and I'm still learning what it means to fully trust God in all my situations. But I wouldn't have it any other way. I decided that with the holiday season approaching, maybe it would be a good idea to give you guys a mini adventure until I figure out a game plan for Days Gone By Part 2. Last month, I traveled to Antelope, Oregon for work. There I saw some of the remains of an old religious cult known as the, if I'm pronouncing this correctly, Rajneeshpuram, which is now turned into a Young Life camp. I won't go into the specifics of the cult due to my ignorance, but I would recommend the Netflix documentary Wild Wild Country.
Get a look at this view.
And there I caught up with Max, who you may remember from Day 8 of Days Gone By.
What up, bro? Peace.
So this is where the cult was originally at, for their dining hall.
One of the yeah. Here, look at this. Couldn't you?
Have like an action scene. What was this place? This was a dining hall for them.
And afterwards, we took a ride out to the John Day River, and we enjoyed the scenery before our eyes. It had been close to 2 years since we had seen each other, and the landscape of the Golden Hills made for a cinematic setting.
I know me and my friends we're not in position to like pay for anything.
Whoa, the heck?
And after a long layover, we set course for our next job site. Before our work started, we had a little bit of downtime to go see the famous Riverwalk.
Welcome to Days Gone By, the holiday special. We are here in the beautiful San Antonio, Texas, on the Riverwalk. How do I get on one of these? Wow. This is
I tell if we're at Disney or
are we in Epcot right now?
yeah, this is the World Showcase.
It's beautiful.
That's beautiful. Incredible. Here, and so we can kind of do a loop. We started Crockett Street to here. We did this.
Yeah, these trees really are something else.
Yeah,
They're cypress.
cypress trees. My understanding. This is sweet. The remnants of old, you know. And the styrofoam coffee cup.
Where?
Carefully placed in the corner. You can't miss that.
You really can't.
Dedicated by the Embassy Suites. Wow. Our friends. You stayed there. Yeah.
So, this is probably my favorite town in Texas so far.
So far, I have to agree.
Well, we had another free day. We went back, and I got to eat some of the best Mexican food I've had in a while. The Riverwalk, it breeds a unique culture. With the riverboats on rotation to the exquisite food offerings, it kind of feels like you're in a different country sometimes.
Hi there.
One of the spots I didn't get to go to on the first adventure of Days Gone By was the Alamo. Luckily, I remembered. It's a spot that I'd always wanted to visit, and it felt like the perfect time. Headed back home from weeks of traveling for work, I knew that I wanted to start getting a plan together for the incoming year. What camera I wanted to buy, what new gear I needed to buy, places I'd like to see, and potentially some next steps in life. The one thing that had been laying heavy on my heart, though, was my diet. More or less my overeating. It may not seem like a big deal for most, but I'd been feeling pretty discouraged and honestly a little embarrassed with how I've let myself go. Maybe I'm too hard on myself. But seeing how much I was struggling with the hikes on the first road trip, I knew I needed to start treating my body a little bit better, especially if I wanted to enjoy my traveling to the fullest. In hindsight, my meal portions have gotten out of hand, and the weight started to add up the past couple years. But I kept putting it off, day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, which then turned from 1 year to 2 to 5 years of abuse on my body. I had tried some intensive workouts and tried lucrative diets to try to fast track some results that I wanted. But I recognized these past few weeks, if I really wanted to change, I had to start now. And it would have to be gradual, smaller changes in my diet to start out, because I couldn't trust myself with the big changes just yet. What I couldn't budge on was working out, which I haven't really done consistently in my life, ever. I wasn't striving for perfection. I accepted that I needed to be a student to the process, and needed to have patience to stay consistent.
might need to switch the lens, dude. It's like way too close.
Once I accepted that my belly fat was probably going to be the last thing I'll lose, I knew I was in it for the long haul. So, to hold myself accountable on this journey, I decided that after my New York special releases, I could not make any more Days Gone By content until I reached my goal of 185 pounds. So, if I plan to make a part 2 and hit the road next May, well,
I think I'm alright.
physically I better be ready. It might take me 3 months. It might take 6 months. It might take a year. Maybe I'll give up.
That's not an option, by the way. I was just trying to prove a point. This is important to me, because one of the fruits of the Spirit is self-control. Something I've lacked most of my life. But now that changes. Because tomorrow is not promised, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow is not promised. We can fade to obscurity in the blink of an eye. We are not promised tomorrow. This is what I have to do. Best get started. Until next time.